Top 10 most important things to note when documenting and billing for Medicare G codes. Number 1, you will always document and bill 2 G codes with their severity modifiers unless a patient is being seen for multiple therapy services such as PT, OT, and/or speech under the same plan of care, or the patient is being seen only one time. If you are billing an L code for a one-time therapy visit and that code is submitted without a therapy modifier like GP for physical therapy or GO for occupational therapy, then you would not report on a G code. Number 2, you do not need to bill or document a discharge G code if the patient chooses to discontinue therapy at any point before formal discharge. So if the patient does not show up for their final therapy visit, you would not document or bill for that discharge G code. Number 3, G codes need to be submitted for all traditional Medicare beneficiaries and their Medigap insurances. The Medigap insurances are the 20% not paid by Medicare. G codes do not need to be reported, though, for Medicare HMOs, such as Oxford Medicare or Medicare Advantage. When assigning the severity modifier, it is ultimately up to the therapist to use their professional judgment. The therapist will consider multiple pieces of information taken at the initial evaluation and also using special tests, but ultimately it is up to the therapist to determine the appropriate percent limitation and therefore severity modifier based upon those pieces of information as well as their professional judgment. Number 5, when using a special test that contains a Likert scale, such as the optimal or the free photo, the therapist can choose to link the percent limitation with the rating on that scale based upon what makes best sense for them. Number 6, when documenting and billing G codes, you must administer the same special test or tests each time you are going to be reporting. So if I choose to test using the optimal at the initial evaluation, I would use the optimal again at the 10th therapy visit and discharge. Number 7, when a patient achieves their functional G code goal and is not discontinued from therapy, meaning therapy will continue, that G code will be documented and billed for discharge on that day, and the new G code will be documented on the same day but billed on the following visit. Number 8, when a patient is being seen for therapy and they do not have a functional limitation, the G code that will be documented and billed would be other, and the CH modifier representing 0 disability percentage would be assigned at all reporting. Number 9, if the patient is receiving maintenance therapy, the severity modifier and the percent limitation would not be expected to change at any point with the G code reporting. So your severity modifier would be expected to be the same at the initial evaluation, the 10th therapy visit, and discharge. And lastly, G codes must be reflected in the goals of therapy and included in the plan of care. The patient will, however, be treated for all functional limitations during therapy, but only one G code will be billed at a particular time.